News team, assemble! Hello, I'm Ryan Mann.
And I'm Andy St. Gabriel.
And here's what's happening in your world tonight. Breaking news out of Grand Ridge, a giant turtle is currently ransacking the village. The turtle appeared about half an hour ago and began to cause widespread carnage. The LaSalle County Sheriff's Office arrived on the scene moments ago and began to beleaguer the reptile. Our Eye in the Sky chopper is currently over Grand Ridge. We will be giving you breaking news updates as this incipient crisis goes on.
2 men in England were banned from an all-you-can-eat buffet because they were accused of eating too much. These men had been going to the same Mongolian buffet for the past 2 years and eating their fill every time they went. The manager said, "We have had enough of these 2 men. It is disgusting to see how much food they eat. Other customers have to avert their eyes so they do not become sick." The 2 men recently hired a lawyer and are filing a lawsuit against the restaurant. A statement was released by the lawyer. "The manager is simply being intolerant of large people. He will face retribution."
A man was shot last weekend while attending a gun safety class in Morris. The instructor had just reiterated that one should treat every gun like it is loaded. After that, he demonstrated what not to do with a firearm while operating it around people. The instructor's finger slipped and he shot the man in the abdomen. The instructor is now liable for this man's death.
A news reporter in Minnesota recently had a little mishap while shooting a segment for a news station in International Falls. She was doing a report on ice safety and precautions people should take when they are by icy waterways. As the report was drawing to a close, the reporter stated laconically, "Don't stand on ice." As she said this, she was suddenly plunged into sub-zero waters. She soon discerned that where she was standing was not a road as she had thought. It was, in fact, a patch of ice over a small river. Luckily, she did not procure any injuries.
A jail in Atlanta enlisted its finest thieves to test out its new cell door locks. The jail offered free food and personal hygiene items to any inmate who could pick the lock. Several inmates took the challenge and became immersed in their work. However, they all resigned after several hours of scrutiny. The jail supported its decision to let criminals practice how to pick locks. The jail said in a statement, "If these experts can't pick the locks, nobody can." This jail, ironically, has a very high escape rate.
A man from Peru, Illinois, was recently arrested for the possession of illegal drugs. His name was Edward Cocaine and was found with several kilos of, you guessed it, cocaine. The man was arrested and transported to the LaSalle County Courthouse. The man had been given several admonitions before. However, this time he will be prosecuted.
Citizens of a rural farming town in Wyoming were befuddled as they drove through their town yesterday. All of the street signs were recently taken down and replaced. However, at the site of all the old stop signs, which are, of course, a universal symbol, a new sign has appeared. A red octagon with the word "Go" printed on it made its debut on street corners all over the town. The new signs caused widespread panic and several traffic pileups. Drivers were mystified for several hours before the situation could be rectified.
We now move on to our coverage of the court case of Peter File the pedophile. I recently sat down with Chester McBean, district attorney, and he explained several ways to present an argument in court. Hello, Mr. McBean. Thank you for sitting down with me.
Wonderful to be with you today.
All right, now Chester, could you please explain to us the 2 different types of appeals that you use in court?
Yes, of course. Well, There are two main types of appeals. The first one, of course, is logical, appeals to your reason and such. The second one is emotional. It really kind of pulls at the heartstrings, like the end of Marley and Me, like that. Yeah, I cried.
Not the only one. Now, how about those steps to evaluate an argument? Can
Yes.
you explain those?
Yes, of course. Well, there's 5. The first one, you need to understand the claim, what they're trying to prove to you. The second one, of course, is identify the support. Make sure it's a valid argument. Excuse me for a moment. I'm parched. Where were we? Step 3, I believe, yes. Step 3, evaluate the evidence. Make sure their support makes sense. Number 4, identify the author's intent. See why they're writing it. Why? Yeah, ask why are they writing it? Why do they want me to think this way? And finally, step 5, which is optional, of course, make a chart. I like to make charts and graphs. Really helps me organize my thoughts, that sort of thing. Yeah.
All right, thank you for your insight.
You're so welcome. Deliberation of the case of Peter File, the pedophile, will resume on Wednesday.
We'll be back after a quick hiatus.
Welcome back. We now go outside to Tom Lechtenberg with the weather. Tom, how is it out there?
Hi, I'm Tom the Weatherman. And put your sun hats on, ladies, because it is bright, beautiful, and sunny outside today. Since it's the beginning of tornado season, we will be going to the Weather Center inside, and I will teach you about tornadoes.
I'm here in the weather station today in our studio, and I'm going to explain how tornadoes form. So they start, and they form in these two areas. It's a critical point. It can prove to be dangerous. Now, they form by the winds coming from the west, dip down right here, and from the east as well, making a meeting point right here, which could prove to be fatal in this whole area right here. That's how tornadoes form. Now back to you, Ryan.
Thanks, Tom. Moving on, I recently sat down with everyone's favorite English 1 teacher in an interview. Verbal irony. I asked Miss Taryn Smith all the tough questions that nobody else was willing to ask. Take a look. Hello, Miss Smith. Thank you for sitting down with us. We just have a few quick questions. We just want you to relax and answer them as honestly as possible. Okay? All right. First question. If you had to get rid of one U.S. state, which state would it be?
North Dakota.
All right. What's your third favorite color?
Green.
Okay. If I give you $1 million to launch your own company, what kind of company would it be?
Travel agency.
All right. What do you think about when you're in your car alone?
Why Ryan Man asks me so many questions.
I don't know, but we've got 16 more, so let's keep moving. Can you say Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers 7 times fast?
No.
Okay. If the news team and I came over to your house for dinner, what would you make us?
Steak. You're welcome.
Wow, classy. All right. What is your favorite type of sandwich?
Roast beef. once.
You can't. Okay. What's your favorite song?
Let It Be. No, not Let It Be. Here Comes the Sun. Sorry.
Okay, perform it now, please.
No.
Just the first line.
No.
Okay. If you could only say one word for the rest of your life, what word would it be?
No.
No. Negative person. Negative. Okay. Have you ever stolen a pen from work?
Yeah.
Yeah, figured you would. If there were a Hunger Games of world leaders, and it came down to Michelle Obama and Queen Elizabeth, who would you bet your money on?
Michelle. Those arms.
All right.
She'll kill somebody.
Pick two celebrities, any celebrities from the history of forever, to be your parents. Like, I know Cecil's pretty awesome, but if it was somebody other than Cecil.
Stanley Tucci would be a pretty great dad.
Okay. Gonna be single dad
let's
going
say-
that route, or gonna have a mom too?
No, Michelle Pfeiffer would be a pretty solid mom as well.
Solid answers. Yeah. If you had turned your cell phone to silent and it rang very loudly right now, what would you tell me? Would you apologize?
For
I didn't think
settling
so.
you?
No. Rate me as an interviewer.
On what scale?
I'll ask the questions.
7.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 100, I get a 7. If you were a kitchen utensil, what kitchen utensil do you think you would be?
Spatula.
Why?
I can get out of
See, there-
sticky situations.
There's a lot of evidence
Scrape.
behind your answers. That's good.
That's good.
Is it true that you and Danny Graham are madly in love?
No.
Okay, but if you had to rate your relationship on a scale of 1 to 23,
Private matter.
23 being madly in love, where would you guys fall on that scale?
Private matter. Private man.
Well, all right. See, we're gonna do that. Is it true that you love animals more than people?
I mean, not more than. Let's say
Can
it.
we elaborate on that? The viewers might be a little
I
confused.
thought this
but-
was supposed to only take 2 minutes. I mean, maybe.
Maybe. Okay. So if your father's Cecil and a
Okay.
cat
What
were
cat?
hanging, any cat, just pick your favorite cat, were hanging precariously over a cliff. Okay, see what we did there? And you only had a split second to save one. Which one would you save?
Cecil.
Okay. What if the cat was Danny Graham in a cat suit? Then would you save the cat? After that, we were asked to leave the premises and to not return. On a lighter note, it's time for movies with Brant Teller. Brant, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. Andy?
I'm good too.
Tom?
I'm having fun.
Fantastic. Brant, I hear you're reviewing Captain America, the Winter Soldier for us.
I am.
How was that?
It was fantastic.
Please elaborate.
Well, it was a political thriller, and it's the third movie in Marvel's second phase, and it set up quite a few things for the future of Marvel.
I agree completely. Any thoughts on the new actors?
Yes, Emily Van Camp was very good, all the way from Revenge on ABC. And Anthony Mackie was very good as Falcon. His suit was pretty amazing, although he only killed a total of 4 people. But how about Captain America, Ryan?
Then, he was okay. But I really think Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson, she stole the show.
She stole the show?
She stole the show.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Anything else you'd like to tell us about the movie, Brant?
Yes, I would say that it might just be the best Marvel movie to date. And Captain America uses the shield in so many ways.
Like what?
So many ways.
Alright, good, because that's all the time we have for today anyway. Thank you for coming. That was great. Alright.
We're going to take a quick hiatus for one more commercial break. We'll be back in a moment.
Hi, I'm here today to tell you that you need suits. Red suits. Blue suits. Black suits. And big, ugly suits.
You need a suit, and I have them. Come to Tom's Suit Emporium to get a suit that suits you.
Tom's Suit Emporium, the official suit sponsor of the Channel 420 News Team. Now it's time for Books with Tom. This week, Tom is reviewing The Lord of the Flies. Tom?
Hi, I'm Tom with Books, and today I'm reviewing The Lord of the Flies by William Golding. This is a story about boys on an island. It is an allegory for human nature because people have the capacity for evil. Back to you, Brian Mann.
Thanks, Tom. Finally tonight, a dog found in Africa has finally found his way home. The dog's name is Oreo, and he escaped from his owner's home last Monday. He apparently hid in the wheel well of a Boeing 767 at O'Hare International Airport and flew to South Africa. Authorities are still investigating why the dog wanted to go to Africa. Citizens in Pretoria, the nation's capital, found Oreo wandering around, caught him, and read his collar. When they found out where he was from, they contacted the American Embassy in South Africa. The dog was transported home and was reunified with his family on Easter morning.
That is some heartwarming stuff. Well, that's the news for tonight. I'm Andy St. Gabriel.
And I'm Tom Leckenberg.
And I'm Ryan Mann. For myself and the entire news team, I wish you all a very good night.
Oh, hey, Gabriel. Yeah, but...
Clap along.